Well, this is D-Day time, isn't it? Now that you look at this and do this process, it's kind of overwhelming, isn't it? So you see, I wasn't lying really. Here's my Instagram. That's the bio. That right there, that quote is exactly what I promised I would be doing in my previous Buddy Read Part 1 video. I've given credits to the book directly so that I don't have to go through the hashtag deep dilemmas of whether to give credits to the translator or the author. And that YouTube link right there, yeah, that's the video that I finally posted, I think today. Okay, not I think today, definitely today. I remember about like 2 hours ago, 2 to 3 hours ago. And yeah, so that's me on Instagram. I guess you know my username now. Ooh, don't send follow requests. I'll not be accepting. Thank you very much. 4 views. It was supposed to be 4 views, not 32. What went down? Explain. Okay, hi. Hi again. And welcome to Buddy Read Part 2. Part 2? Yeah. Hi, and welcome again to Buddy Read Part 2. This time we'll be reading the book that I've mentioned way too many times in Part 1 for a part that doesn't even include me reading the book. I'm reading The Dark Lake by Sarah Bailey. Finally, and this time I can finally take the name of the book and the author without feeling like, oh, I'm not even going to be reading it right now. I am going to be reading it right now. In fact, I've actually started reading the book, but like just 2 pages in, and I have an update to make, so I'm here again. Yes, please excuse the cold that I have right now. The weather change is not working in my favor. So first thing that I really like is that I read the blurb again, and like with focus, and let's just say CJ Box says, a stunning debut that gripped me from page 1 and never eased up. Dark, 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 but infused with insight, a great sense of place, and razor sharp writing. Sarah Bailey needs to clear a shelf for awards. That last sentence, you're setting up high expectations, very high expectations. So I'm very excited. What I have noticed as of now, so what I did was I scrolled. No, that is what you do on a phone. I checked out a few pages, the initial few pages, and I saw that the chapters are named based on, of course, there's the chapter number 1, 2, it's numbered, but there is also like a day and a timing, like I don't know, Saturday 7:51 p.m. and that sort of stuff, or that sort of way to segregate chapters and sections in the book really intrigues me, because be it books or even visual media that I watch, because I don't know, it somehow brings a sense of added mystery. I can't like explain how it does that, but it brings a sense of I don't know, thrill. Like it feels like there could be something to do with these timings, so I try to focus on those as well. So and maybe at the end it will not, like a lot of situations, these timings and days, they don't really add up, they don't count at the end. Like it's not something additional that they're bringing to the table, but it was still a fun ride to be knowing all of this. So that part I really like to be following. And I also do this thing where while I'm reading mysteries, I try to have hunches on, oh, this person I'm suspecting, that person not so much. So of course I'll be doing that for this book as well. If we have to establish, my record is really bad. Like I hardly ever get the correct person. So yeah, I really shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be trying to find out who committed the murder, because I can never guess it right. But maybe this time I could. I don't know. I'll try to think of it more open-mindedly. I'll try not to be biased towards one certain character. The first part is called Now. The first chapter, I would say chapter, but I think it's basically a prologue. It's the prologue which has been called Now. which is good because most of the times prologues are just called prologues. Like they don't put the effort. But here the prologue is called now, so it's interesting. However, and the reason why I've come here is because, let me, 1 second. I always have a struggle trying to find the page, right? So, this is on the 3rd page of the book. And this will be an out of, again, if you don't want spoilers, please leave. But again, this is the 3rd page. So, what could be ruining your life? Anyway. So, on the 3rd page, it says, what do you think Shakespeare is getting at when he declares that these violent delights have violent ends? So, there's something about this line that I love a lot. So, every time any media, books, visual media, literally any time it is, this line is mentioned anywhere, the violent delights and violent ends mentioned anywhere, I am hooked and I'm expecting way more. I don't know, it's just something I do. So I don't know how, if this is even that impactful. It probably might just have been used for a scene. It could have repercussions later on in the book, but I'm really happy, and I'm also happy because it's been a long while since I've seen that phrase, so I'm excited. Yeah, that was my update. I am reading this. Yay, everyone cheered. It has also been about like 4 hours since I've uploaded part 1 on YouTube. Yes, my first video on escapades. Haha. No, but it truly is such a pain editing. It's such a pain editing. It's such a pain exporting the video. Who would have thought exporting a video would take away all energy? Anyway, so I finished uploading the Days at Morisaki Bookshop buddy read, so you can go check that out if you want to. So yes, finally, yay. Anyway, we can do thumbnails. Yes. I also, you will notice if you're watching any video or if you've watched the previous one, even this one probably, some of my words sound like different words altogether. Sometimes it feels like I'm saying broken sentences because the truth is that in my brain I'm speaking way faster, alright? So I'm thinking all of this way faster and I'm just trying to get that out. And in the process, what I've realized during editing is that a lot of the words never make it like verbally. Like, turns out I've said a sentence and there's like entire 2 words which I just didn't say out. So just think of everything as implied, okay? Deal with it. It happens to me. I also know it happens to a lot other people. So chill. And sometimes certain words, certain English words sound like something else. But like put it in context and realize what I was trying to talk about. And yeah, I don't know if I'll be using these, but if I want to like defend myself or something, I don't know. I could get hate, who knows. But that. The bell has rang, so that's my cue to go. Bye. The protagonist is quite like us. Gemma is me, honestly. Like, so she's thinking about tons of things at the same time, and it's all written. So, and it's all different. It's all different things. So you can see how like her brain is working and all the thoughts that are going on in her brain at the same time while she's doing something completely different, right? And that a lot of us do. So yeah, that was something realistic, I guess, although I am not a police officer. She's basically a train wreck, but like in the head. The details in the book are also quite apt. They are not overbearing, they are not overburdening, they are not overwhelming. It doesn't feel like too much information. It feels like particularly important information. Like, this is all I need to know, and it's like adequate information, if you will. And so I have a clue of what is going around, what the vibes are like, what and how people are reacting around to certain scenarios. And I also know what like the environment is like, what the nature is feeling like, what the roads are feeling like, and but I also am not like fed with a bunch of extra information just because the author wanted to, I don't know, increase the word count. So as of now, it feels perfectly delightful. It's a delightful read, except the fact that a gruesome murder has just happened. But we can just move past that, I guess. That's the point of a mystery novel, a gruesome murder. Usually it's better when it's a gruesome murder. That is for people who can take and deal with stuff like that. I know it's sensitive for some people. It's difficult to read. So respect that. However, I can't relate. I read only mysteries, and that's for a reason. Well, we have a new update. The update is that I finally crossed page 77. So now whatever I'm reading is new content. Wow. Hi, and this is something new because I'm shooting during the daylight for the first time. Like, yeah, most of my clips are just, evening and onwards. That's because half the time I'm not ready for the morning. If it's a weekday, I am busy working. And if it's a weekend, I'm busy sleeping. Isn't that how life should be? Anyway, but I had business outside today, so I had to go out. And obviously I'm dressed and all. So I thought it was a nice moment to film. So I'm reading The Dark Lake. Yes, the era of now holding a thicker book is upon us. And this book will stay here. Here. I'm also down with a very bad cold, so deal with that. If in separate clips you see my eyes looking very red, then do not be concerned. It's okay. It's just the cold. I'll be fine, hopefully. Anyway, so I'll also be sniffling, so I'm really sorry about that. My voice might sound different from the first video, but it's just because I've had a cold. But I'm not going to let no cold stop me from reading a book that is actually very good. So till yesterday night I had finished the chapter 9, and today morning I managed to catch up to 2 more chapters. So that's basically making it how many chapters? I'm going to start chapter 12 basically. So when I was talking about how chapters are named, it's this. Chapter 12, Monday, 14 December, 9:52 a.m. It's kind of cool actually. I really like this. So yes, the murder has been committed. We don't know by who. The body has been found. The body has been reported. The investigation has started. We are looking into different people. There's no suspects really. We're just getting started with the people most closest to, or literally grappling at any information that we can find. We as in the police team at Smithson and me. Yes, I'm a part of them. Okay, I also want to find out who did this or who all did this. I don't even know at this point. This is what I love about mysteries. There's so much that you just have no clue about. It's amazing. Yeah. So well, Smithson is a small town, and well, a murder has happened, and I like this setting a lot more, because usually whenever they're talking about, a small town and a murder has happened, it's always like, oh my god, such events have never happened here, oh my god. But the Dark Lake, the setting is really not like that. This small town apparently sees stuff. Yeah, or maybe we are aware of this information because the protagonist, Gemma Woodstock, is actually from the police department. She's a detective sergeant, so I guess she has more insight into all the crimes that are happening in and around town. So we are going through Gemma Woodstock's point of view, and we are watching all of this unfold from her eyes. She has some stuff going on in her personal life, but based on the blurb that I read, I think we are just scratching at the surface. I think there's a lot more that's going to happen in her life, and I'm scared for that, because crimes are truly the messiest when the detectives involved have a lot of shit going on in their personal lives as well. And I have a feeling that it's also going to end up intertwined, like her personal life and her professional life. So well, that will be fun, or maybe not fun, depending on how you define fun. Actually, for me it's fun, because I love messy mystery. I love messy mystery stories, plot lines. So that'll genuinely be a lot of fun for me. And then we're introduced to a lot of characters, a lot of name dropping of Jacob and Felix and Scott, and it took me a while to put like their names to, I was going to say they put a name to their faces, except I don't know how they look, so it was more of put whatever the role of this person is to the name. So I was getting confused in between Scott and Jacob initially, but now I've got that cleared. See, it's when you dump a lot of white names on me, okay, I will obviously be overwhelmed. I will obviously be overwhelmed when you dump a bunch of white names on me, and such cliche ones at that. This is the best you could do. Felix, Jacob, Scott, oh my god, Scott. Anyway, we're going through that. We're also watching sexism in the police department and how that works. Interesting. I like that. As a former sociology student myself, it is interesting to me. Yes. I guess the plot starts with the fact that Gemma and our victim, Rosalind, they knew each other back in high school. Now, I'm not sure of the exact extent that they knew each other back in high school, because in the times when Gemma is thinking to herself, she has this very different kind of perception of Rosalind compared to when she is talking to others. With others, she's like, okay, yeah, I didn't really know her, we just went to high school together, not a big deal, please keep me on this case, I beg. But in her vivid memory, she's like, oh, Rosalind, amazing, perfect, she was so perfect. What if Gemma's like bisexual? What if she was like extremely gay for Rosalind? It could have started as she was jealous of Rosalind, and then she just fell in love for Rose. Could be a very realistic possibility. So right now, as I've mentioned, I'm on chapter 12, which basically means they've just completed their initial questioning with the principal at the high school where Rose teaches or used to teach. Anyway, the murder is also very intricate, if you say. Like it feels like a presentation, because she's floating on water. Alright, she's by the edge of the lake, the dark lake. Get it? No. So she's floating at the edge, her hair is all like spread out, and across her there's a bunch of roses. Not rose petals, full roses. So it feels like an art piece. I don't know. Until I get to the end, I will never know if it was intended or if it was an accident. But as of now, it feels very theatrical to me, and that would also make sense because just, I guess, few hours before her murder, she was there watching her play come to life. So she's the English teacher at her high school, Rose, that is. She's the English teacher at her high school, and she had fought a lot to get a play to happen, and it was finally happening. So it was the first night of the play, and her students did exceptionally well. She was very proud. People loved the act. And then a few hours later, she was just no more. So yeah. So you see a theater performance, then a very theatrical murder. I don't know, could be something along those lines. Her family has been interviewed. Her family, that is basically her father and her 3 brothers. A weird lot, definitely. Especially Timothy and Bryce. I don't trust them. I genuinely don't trust Timothy and Bryce. So we need to see that. Her house has been gone through, and it does bring a few, let's just say, interesting factors. Like basically there's a huge gap in between the lifestyles of Rose. So while on one side it feels like she is living this very frugal, basic, minimalistic lifestyle, On the other hand, there are like very small indicators of her living a very lavish, expensive life. So you can't really pinpoint on who she is, like what kind of life. And based on all the interviews that have been conducted with other people as of now, everyone's like, oh, she was very private and she kept to herself, she didn't really share stuff like that, she didn't get into other people's business, she didn't let other people get into hers. So that is something that we need to see, like what was going on in her private life, because as of now no one has a clue, right? No one has a clue of what kind of person she is, except the fact that she loves English and drama and poetry and books, and she was a movie maniac, stuff like that. And even the books and the movie maniac part we know because we've just gone through her house, and she has posters of films up everywhere in her house, which kind of like me. Do you see? That's like me with K-pop. I have posters all over my room. I've also made a mistake. I've lied yet again. In the previous video where I've kept mentioning that, oh, it's a book from 2018, it's a book I was supposed to read in 2018. No, it is in fact a book that was given to me on 24th April 2019. Yep, 2019. So it's a book I was reading in 2019. Yes, and I was referring to the book because it has this very sweet note on the first page, and well, it mentions the date that I was gifted the book. So that's 24th April. Now everyone knows. Yay! I'll also speak of page 77. I have no clue why I decided to stop there. Like, it wasn't even the end of a chapter. Like, the chapter ends at page 80. So I could have at least gone there and like stopped, and then it would make sense. Like, maybe I just put the bookmark and I never got back around to it. Fair. Happens all the time. However, I stopped midway, and they didn't feel like there was any portion which would make sense for me to be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm done right now, I can't anymore. I don't know, maybe it was a hasty decision, maybe I had something else to attend to, and then I just never got back to it. I don't know, that will always remain a mystery. The reason why, despite having a cold and despite not feeling that well, I'm still reading this is because I'm holding up on my promise. I am going to finish this before her. I swear, I promise. So yeah, I'm going through all of this struggle so that I can beat Avipsha in a game that I challenged myself to. She has not agreed to the challenge. This wasn't supposed to be a challenge in the first place. We're supposed to be complimenting each other, but I have made it into a competition because I believe in Jessica's words of, we are not a team, this is competition. Turns out my reading speed has decreased. Usually I used to be able to do like 80-90 pages in an hour, but now that's gone down to 50 pages an hour, which is so sad, honestly. Like, disgusting of me. But then I guess pages also differ based on font size and the size of the book in itself and the content, easy lines or skimmable lines. Anyway, now I'm just talking a lot about books in general. Continuing to read. We'll let you know when there's the next update. Bye. Hi. So I'm back again. And I'm back because, oh my god, my voice really sounds bad. Anyway, I'm back because I realized that I hadn't really talked about Gemma's police career. So, of course, she was the only female at the police station. Yeah. Like, she was the only woman there, and men were like, oh my god, women are not meant for this career, and consider a career change or something. And they were like not treating her right. They were not giving her the respect that she deserved as a young female police. And of course, she was like, yeah, okay, I guess this is my life, but I just have to deal with this. Like all of us women do. We are just there at the workspace and we're like, yeah, have to deal with this. Can't help it. It's sad. But then this is something that happens early on in her career, and she stumbles upon the Robbie case. I'm not going to speak about it in case I don't know. I'm still conflicted about should I speak about something or should I not, in case I'm giving spoilers. or in case I'm speaking about it in way too much detail. So I'm just gonna mention it briefly. The Robbie case. There's something called the Robbie case that, well, changes her fate. She cracks this huge case, which honestly wasn't even a case. There was nothing of the sort. Like, she kind of found out the case and she solved everything. Anyway, the point is, it looks great on her. It's like an amazing thing on her CV. Her life is made. At least her professional life is made. And of course her superiors are happy. They're like, you know what, you have good intuition, thank you, you're an asset to this team. Thank you very much, Gemma Woodstock. And she's like, yeah, okay, cool. And even now, I think, even despite her being the detective and being a good asset, people, at least the older police constables, they're like, okay, yeah, woman, female, okay, fine, whatever. So apparently they don't vibe with the population of females, and they don't vibe with young constables. Like, I don't know why that's the problem, but okay. Like, there's a quote where Gemma's thinking, if it was up to these old, they have names, of course, which I haven't bothered learning, because why should I bother with their names unless they get like important later. Anyway, so apparently if it was up to them, all the constables would be 45 and above, and that's so weird. Like, why? On another note, I have been sponsored. Okay, technically I have not been sponsored. Technically it's more of, my friend, the Black Autan, has a business, a small business, if you will. She makes bookmarks, and I thought this is going to be the perfect opportunity to use her bookmarks. So I'm going to be doing that ahead. I'm going to be using, like, yeah, all this while I was using this, which is a gift she had made for me. All my bookmarks are just like given by her, but from now I will be using the ones that I bought from her. So what she does is, she has an amazing, she's amazing at photography, and she makes those photographs into bookmarks and she sells them. So what I thought, I have bought quite a few from her and I have them. I've actually preserved those. So I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for me to be using these, because it's a buddy read with her and I can be using bookmarks by her for this occasion. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'll be changing my bookmark like right now. Yep, I am back. Very brief update. I have read more than 1/3 of the book, and they have pretty much no clue. Like, they have nothing going on. There's like this small speculation that they have, and it's not a revelation, it's just a speculation based on odds. But other than that, they really have nothing going. And even that speculation does nothing for the case, really. If you think about it, it does nothing. So they are just head first, no information. They are blind. They have no clue. And I don't know how they're going to solve this case. I have been using bookmarks by the Black Autan. Yeah, so Black Autan, or Avipsha, she has her own set of bookmarks that she makes out of her own photographs. Like, that came out wrong. She's good at photography. She has amazing pictures, and sometimes when she finds a picture particularly bookmark-esque, she makes them into bookmarks. Proof. Why this shot? 1, it could be like a screenshot or something. 2, it looks nice. 3, this video has been sponsored by Black Autan, the small business that makes their own photography into customized bookmarks, so that you can use nice photographs as your bookmarks without ever feeling like you're stealing someone's work illegally. Yep. Look, these are so nice. This is called film light. If you could focus, yes, this is called film light. Pretty nice, I would say, pretty nice. And we have the bestseller called and see, it's so pretty. You have one side which is the picture itself, the other side has the name of the bookmark and the credits, if you will. So yeah, Uh, Consider hitting up Black Autan on Instagram. Oh, and for the code, for the exclusive code, you can use the code. I don't actually need a code because these bookmarks are so affordable. Like, genuinely, you can buy so many of those and yet you will probably not feel a dent in your pocket. I say probably because I actually don't know how much you have in your pocket. But no, seriously, these are extremely cool. Go check them out. Thank you. Now on to my video again. Thank you very much for entertaining me and this nice cute little sponsorship idea that I had because I wanted to feel like I'm famous and all, you know. Go to Instagram. It's at the rate black dot Autan, BLACK period AUTAN. Yep. Go buy from her, ping her up, go through the pictures, go through all of her highlights, buy some, and if it works out, she might actually give me a sponsorship. Guys, do this. Let's do it. So yeah, bye. By last night, I was halfway through the book and I just didn't have enough time to make like an update video. So I'm just doing all of that together right now because I've been binge reading this book right now. So when we were halfway through the book, which is like 215 pages, which is safe for a book which has 429 pages. So 215 is a fair place to call midway, quite literally like the half. So by that time, the only thing that we had managed, or rather the police department and Gemma Woodstock had managed to do was confirm that one speculation that they had. Yeah, the one speculation that they were going on based on 1/3 of the book. Yeah, that speculation, they had confirmed that officially. And they had a small new information, if you will. But even with that, they were being extremely like, even the small information that they got, which I will call information number 2, even they were like, oh, it could be a prank, it could just be a story, it could be all made up, you know. So that is what was happening in by the first half. So I truly was thinking a lot has to happen in the second half, doesn't it? And yeah, a lot is happening now. There's a bunch of names that they see as suspects, and there's definitely more information, which of course happens because some people are speaking up more now and they're not hiding stuff, some characters that is. So my current update is that I have just 100 pages left. Yeah, so you'll see it. I have about this bit of pages left. So I'll be doing that. What chapter is this even? Chapter 56. I'll be starting chapter 56 soon, and 100 pages should be doable completely. So I'll be doing that. I don't have any hunches actually. I actually have no clue. I mean, yes, there's obviously the obvious and cliche the suspect, like I feel like the book also wants you to believe that it was this certain person. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. However, I'm not sure. Just because it's so obvious, it feels like, yeah, this is the only missing part of the puzzle. So it has to be that, doesn't it? So that's my doubt. But other than that, I'm not sure, because books love to pull a twist and suddenly they're like, oh no, it's someone else completely. So it could be one of the suspects. It could be who I think it is. It could be something else completely, like something random. Who knows? I'll just have to wait and watch or wait and read. No, that was not as funny as I thought it was. So yeah, that's the update for now. And I'm realizing that with a mystery book, I can't be talking way more because I don't even know, like, I was already so bad at trying to explain the Morisaki Bookshop's plot, and I made some very vague comments. I did not speak about the book. However, so this is basically, like I've explained the initial parts, I'm sure, but like then whatever's happened after that is basically Gemma and Felix are trying, they're interviewing very hard, they are going through as many leads as they can, and well, so they're trying their best on the professional front, and they are also having personal moments. Gemma's like she's always going through a lot, I feel like, but yeah, so she's having all of these concerns and thoughts, and a lot of thoughts in her head, honestly. So that's happening, and then there are certain threats or actions committed against Gemma. I don't know by who, even if it's supposed to, but whatever. There's some scares that probably shouldn't be happening, but they are happening, so it is scary. So but well, they're dealing with that fine enough as of now. And yeah, there's some more drama, I think, which is about to unveil, because well, stuff is changing in here, all right? So that, and what I also did personally was I went and checked when the last chapter is dated. Like I've mentioned that every chapter has a date, right? Date and a time. So I thought, let me go and quickly check what date the last chapter has. And turns out the last chapter has no date, which is so creepy to see. It's just empty. It just says chapter something and it's just empty, which was extremely weird to see in this book, because they don't do that. Anyway, so I checked the previous chapter and that said 2nd January, if I'm not wrong. 1 second. I've also been extremely careful in not trying to see what is written, because that's the word. Okay, so the last chapter is chapter 78 and it has nothing written on it. It's so creepy. However, the second last chapter, 77, no, is 2nd January and it's 10:11 p.m. So night of 2nd January. And so I also decided to see, which day am I on and how many days left. So I'm hoping that the case is solved, because there's a total chance that this case just remains unsolved forever. So I don't know, but for my sake, I really like closed endings. Open endings bother me so much, and not because, oh my god, like unsure, not because of anything problematic. It's just personally I would like to know what was intended, It's just my curiosity that needs to be, I don't know, dealt with. However, right now I am at, well, chapter 56 is a chapter regarding the past, so we'll avoid that. But well, I'm on Christmas. I'm on 25th December. So not a lot of days, like a week and a day, like 8 days. So yeah, in 8 days this thing ends and I'm gonna find out. So that's fun. So yeah, that was the update for now. Bye. Hi, and this is to say that I've completed the book. Yep, I'm done with it. I'm just done with it. I just like speed ran the book, if you will. I'm here to just let know a few of you, the ones who might have watched the part 1 of the blog, that something has happened. Guess what? Yeah, remember that extremely open challenge that I gave to Avipsha? Like, I just went, I'll beat you, I'll finish the book faster than you, no matter what. Yeah, I did that. Okay, I finished the book extremely fast. Like, I think I finished the book before she could even get started with it. And while that is extremely counterproductive to the idea of a buddy read, like, isn't the point like we're supposed to be reading together? But we couldn't do that. Let's just say work really comes in between the adult life a lot. Adult life, that sounds illegal. No, I mean like work life. Okay, I had like a few days break, so I could binge read. She could not, because she did not have that. But I will still call her weak. She could not read the book I could read the book. I won the challenge fair and square. Did she propose the idea of the contest? Nope. Did she consent to the idea? Nope. Does it matter? Nope. I won this challenge fair and square. I am the better reader. I want everyone to acknowledge this, her included. Okay? So I want you, Avipsha Ghosh, in your vlog to admit that you lost to me. Thank you. So this I've managed to finish. There's this thing I mentioned in part 1 of the vlog. I said that, oh, I have an idea of how cliche it can be, and I'm going to see if it was that cliche or not. It was not. I don't think it was cliche. The story, I don't think I've ever heard of any of the things that happen in this plot before. Neither the tropes nor, well, the plot itself. It definitely didn't take the route or the angle that I thought it would. And I also like this because there's a lot going on in the detective's life, and they also show us that. So in the blurb itself, it mentions that Gemma will end up getting her personal life and her professional life mixed, and it will pull her deep into the lake, this case will drown her, stuff like that. And of course I see, so it's not really a spoiler. Yeah, her personal life will become entangled with the case, and it's something she'll have to deal with. Anyway, so I've mentioned, I think I've talked about Gemma and how she became a respected detective. And I can't believe that men will just be, oh yeah, okay, all right, yeah, you're a cop, okay, cool. And women, they have to get a big, huge case, get a huge solve, and only then they could be, worthy of being a detective. Sexism annoys me so much. I'll try to speak about a few things that, in my opinion, I feel could attract people to come and read this book. 1. It actually sets a nice atmosphere. It's also based around Christmas in Australia, so you could that's fun, and it's done well, I think. So that gets, I don't know, 1 star as of now. 2, something unique. I mean, recently it's been happening in a lot of places, but the detective actually knew the victim back from high school. Yeah. And guess what a big role that plays. No, this is really not a spoiler. It's from the start. No, it's literally the meme of no one. Gemma Woodstock. Rosalind. Constantly. She is constantly thinking about her. Oh my God. Like truly, oh my God. It gets annoying after a point. So in high school, she was all this, oh, Rosalind is so perfect and Rosalind is so good at such things, and she's like, oh, I'm so jealous of her, or do I want to be her? I don't know. And I'm like, girly, that is called bisexuality. No, Gemma is not bisexual by the end, which I'm really disappointed by, because with all of her thoughts about women, I was wondering, yeah, You'll probably be telling me this at the end of the book, right? That you've discovered something about yourself. No, not yet. However, turns out Gemma Woodstock is an entire series. So I will be checking that out. And I'm still going to hope out for that bisexuality trope. Because Gemma gives such bisexual energy, I swear. Anyway, so yeah, we have that. Gemma's personal life gets extremely intertwined by the late half of the book. Yeah, you feel like you've spent almost half the book, or 3/4 of the book, knowing absolutely nothing, to the last quarter just being jam-packed with information, and you're just trying to deal with that in your head. And I know a lot of it, a lot of mystery books are pretty much that. They're solving the case in the last chapter, yes. But yeah, I just felt like I needed to establish that or something. We have a lot of other male characters We have Felix, we have Scott, we have Jacob. These are all from like her personal life, by the way. And I guess her dad, her son Ben, yeah, and the one female friend she has, Anna, literally one, because she's made enemies of all of the others. So embarrassing. Anyway, it's a good mystery. I do think it's a good mystery. I predicted. Okay, I had like 2 options, and I was like, it has to be one of these. There's no other option. It has to be one of these, and it was one of them. So I guess kudos to me. But or maybe not kudos to me. I don't know. Someone else has to read and let me know if it was really predictable or if my genius is truly. So vivid imagery, so 10 on 10 for that. Or should I be critical and be like 8 out of 10? But no, the imagery was truly very nice. It's not extremely overwhelming, but it's also enough for you to be able to imagine the scene in your head, and you don't have to like add extra details. The characters are shit and dumb, but that's extremely realistic. So I guess 9 on 10 for that. Yeah, it's so realistic. There's also a lot of dark shit going on in everyone's life in the town. Like, really? But I don't know. Is that realistic? Scared. So yeah, I guess that part I was a bit like, does everyone in the town have something or the other going on? But I guess we were also dealing with certain characters. So yeah, that, however you want to take that. Most of the characters in the book for some reason have dead moms, or like one of their parents is just not in the scene. And yeah, low-key realistic, I don't know. Most of them are dead though, and it's not like a divorce. Most of them are just dead. So yeah, it was really difficult finding like one character who had both parents alive. Trust me, I tried so hard and I found one. Just that's it. Everyone else, they're like, yeah, me and my mom and me and my dad. Yeah, no one has a different answer. It's kind of funny. It's like Smithson, the place where we bring all the half orphans. Word of the day, half orphans. Imagine if a criminal does something, maybe in a book, and someone just reads that and says, yeah, I relate, I understand. Wow, you should be scared. So I guess it's extremely fair that I don't understand the perspective of, well, the criminal. Yeah. Or criminals. I keep forgetting to do that. Yeah. Whoever was behind the victim, Rosalind Ryan's murder. Yep, it's a murder. I can let you know that it is not a suicide. Thank you. She's floating by the edge. Her head's in the water. Actually, she's completely in the water, but like totally at the edge of the lake. And her hair with the water is all like splayed across. And there are roses, long stemmed roses, very important, long stemmed roses all across her, and it feels like an art piece, if you will say. Art piece in quotes, because that is also how the book has described it. So well, she's found like that, and it's a weird sort of art piece. So obviously the reader will start making certain assumptions in their head. And so did I, because I'm a reader. I made assumptions as well. And by the time you reach the end of the book, all of these assumptions are broken. Or at least that was the case for me. And like, it's totally not what you expect. Like, if I had to make a list of all the things I would expect it to be, this would be nowhere on the list. Like, I hadn't even thought of that. We can talk about Rosalind Ryan's character. And something the author has done over here is done a trope reversal, if you will. So there's, you know how in a lot of media it's always, oh, she's such a manipulative person, and then slowly, once the story gets deeper and you get to know the character a bit more, and people are like, yeah, no, she was actually really nice, she was a nice person, etc., etc., whatever. The exact reverse, the exact opposite happens to Rose, actually. So initially everyone's like, yeah, she's lovely little girl, lovely human, but, and everyone's like, yeah, I mean, she kept to herself, but she was really nice, stuff like that. And by the end, there's a, like, by the end, there's, the thing is, it's never even hidden from, everyone's like, yeah, I mean, she had her way, she was slightly manipulative, stuff like that. But by the end, it's when the realization really seeps in that, yeah, she was manipulative AF. I don't know, and this is not really a spoiler, or this has nothing to do directly with the mystery itself, but that was a very nice play, I feel like, with the character, to turn the trope and be like, oh no, people think she's nice, but then turns out she's actually fucking bad. Okay, bad's a stretch. She's just, she's very strongly persuasive, slightly manipulative. That's the best way to put it. So that, and yeah, there's a lot of I don't know, karma is a bitch kind of stuff going on in there. If you read till the end, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So really, circle of life, genuinely, the theme, the underlying theme of the book is circle of life, and that's amazing. Slay. This book also challenges and, I don't know, messes around with quite a few other tropes. So that theme is also there consistently throughout the book, that it's challenging certain tropes, and it's, just playing around with them, tweaking them, and that's also fun to read. And I think that also gave the added newness to the book. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, all of you, whoever did. There were a lot of comments on the first one, and I actually received quite a few DMs as well from people who watched, and they were like, and they were really nice positive comments. So that made me feel really nice. Thank you everyone. So no, that genuinely made me very, very happy, the comments and replies from people, and not like my inner circle, people I don't talk a lot to, and they just came up and they said, yep, you're good at this, continue. So while I might probably not continue, I do have to say that thanks a lot. Those comments really mean a lot. They made me very, very happy. They still make me very happy. And yeah, hopefully you all watch this. I don't know if this is fun or not. I don't know how this is gonna look like, but thank you for being there, and maybe I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. And I finally finished this book. Oh my god, started it in 2019, didn't go through, and in 2023 finally this is something I've completed. Oh my god, it was not even on my bucket list, and it just happened. See, great things will happen to you if you try. Wow, I sound like a quote maker or something.